I would say the first season as Sheffield Wednesday manager on Football Manager 2026 is probably the hardest job in the game. However, if you have a few seasons, you can lift the transfer embargo, hopefully survive in the Championship and build with some good young players. But today, I wanted to give myself the ultimate challenge. My task is going to be to take Sheffield Wednesday in one season and try and survive. Now, that may not sound too difficult, but Sheffield Wednesday start on not -9 points, not -12 points, -18 points. One of the biggest points deductions I think I've ever seen. So this challenge is going to be unbelievably difficult. We're going to be relying on the potential of young players. They're going to have to get there now. This is a one-season challenge. And we're also going to be relying on old legs like Barry Bannon to carry this team out of the relegation zone. So let's get in to the video. Yes, lads, welcome back to the channel. Bit of a different kind of video for you guys today. It's going to be my first ever challenge video. So expect some rebuilds to come, but also expect some challenge videos as well. And we're going to start with probably the hardest challenge I will do. It is this Sheffield Wednesday challenge. We are on -18 points, which is absolutely horrific. I mean, let me know if anyone knows in the comments. Does anyone know of another team that have started on this points? You know, -18. I've never seen one bigger than that. But we will have one season to get this done. Here we are in the Championship table now. What I want to do in this video, I want to set a few. So the main challenge is to avoid relegation. Now, that is going to be very hard considering we can't make any transfers and we're relying on the squad we've already got. So avoid relegation. That is the main challenge of the video. I'm also going to set myself 2 side quests. So the first side quest is going to be to finish at least positively with Sheffield United. And what I mean by that is that Sheffield United are massive rivals, complete different ends of the spectrum at the minute. They've got the money to spend. We don't. And the plan will be to make sure that I just don't lose to them. So for example, if I lost the first game, won the second game, I would take that. If both games end a draw, that's great. We just can't let them beat us twice. So we have to have our day against Sheffield United. That's the first side quest. And then the second side quest is, you know, just because things all doom and gloom in the Championship, I want a bit of an FA Cup run. I want us to see how far we can go in the FA Cup. So what I'm going to say for that is I'm going to aim for round 6. Now, watch us get drawn to Manchester City in the 3rd round, and that completely ends that aim, but we're going to give it a good old go. So let's have a look at the squad then. Now, I've had a little look, and you are pretty blessed as Sheffield Wednesday manager to have some good prospects in your sort of under-21s, even maybe some in the under-18s, but ultimately, we need them to be good now, but I'm going to be relying on these boys to carry me through. So, looking at the squad, there's a good few players in here. In particular, you've got this man here, Ernie Weaver. He looks really solid, as does this man here, Piers Charles. The problem is with Piers Charles is that he's injured for 3 to 4 months, so we're going to be relying on Ethan Horvath for us. Now, not bad in the game. Pretty awful in real life, so we'll see how that one goes there. Now, it doesn't really make too much sense for us to try and get this embargo lifted, so we may as well keep players like Jan Valery at the club. Again, I mean, the money would be great, but we can't make any signings, and I can't really see it happening by January. Maybe we'll reconsider our stance by then, see if we can sell him and sort of bring a few more bodies in. Same thing goes here really for Max Lowe as well, another really solid player, but there's some good players on here. If you watch my Gillingham FM26 save that's still going on, that video will be coming out as well over the weekend, so do not worry about that. But Reece Johnson, a really solid player for us. So there are good players in this squad. You know, Barry Bannon, as we mentioned. This guy, I mean, the stats are superb. Former Aston Villa as well, so I know all about Barry Bannon, but we need him to have the season of his life. We are one injury away from really, really putting ourselves in a difficult situation, but, you know, we've got some good players. It's not like we are completely barren of any quality in this squad. We do have some half-decent players, as I say. This man as well. You know, if you're doing like a 10-season Sheffield Wednesday challenge, you've got some seriously good players to work with. But as for us, we are here with what we've got. Harry Amas on loan, one of 2 loans with Horvath. He can be good. Again, if I could have picked who I had on loan, I'd probably go with someone with a bit more quality. But these are the cards we're dealt. So that is the squad. I'll very quickly show you what the tactics will be. And we're going to play quite defensive formation, to be honest. So in possession, This is what we're going to do. We're going to have our wing-backs bombing up and down the pitch, inside forwards, drifting inside to this space here where the space should be, and a channel forward. So as they move inside like this, we're then going to have the channel forward move outside like that. For example, that is the plan. So, and I hate that it does that, I just like to visually show you guys what's going on. So that is us in terms of possession, ball playing centre-backs, ball playing goalkeepers, box-to-box midfielders, up and down, up and down. It's going to be a team that's going to work hard. I'll be honest with you there. It's going to be a team that's going to work hard. Now, in terms of defensively, I've kept it very, very simple. Tracking wingers, centre-forward, DMs, centre-backs, full-backs, and a normal goalkeeper. This is because I find in this year's FM, and by the way, I'm not a great FM player. I genuinely am not a great FM player. If you've seen any of my Gillingham stuff, you'll have seen we've gone back to back to back. Season 4, we're fighting for Champions League. I've just nailed the tactics down. I'll be honest with you. For Gillingham, it just works. But before that, I did a practice save with Middlesbrough and got them relegated from the Championship. So, well, I'm interested to see this one. I'm very interested to see this one. But these are the formation shapes we're going to be playing. In terms of team instructions, I want my team to be a high-pressing team. Really, really go for it, which might not make too much sense for you if you're thinking, well, you're Sheffield Wednesday, you haven't got the greatest squad. But for me personally, I will try and play it the way that we want to try and play, and the way, a nice way to play. Press them, give them hell up the top of the pitch, and if we lose, we lose. Of course, if I have to, I will make some tweaks, I will make some changes, and I can always, sort of make it less high press and sit back a little bit. But this is how we're going to start the season anyway. So, of course, we can't make transfers. We are left with this squad here. There may be a couple of players that I try and ship out. Still undecided if I'm going to do that or not because depth could be a problem. But we're just going to see. So here's what we're going to do then. So I will come back to you guys. I'm not going to show you every single game that we play. But what we're going to do is we're going to play the first game against Leicester. And I think what I'm going to try and do is on camera maybe play sort of one a month, and then towards the end of the season when things get a bit serious, because hopefully we're still in with a shout of staying up, I'll play a few more games, of course, as well as all of the FA Cup games and those 2 games against Sheffield United. I mean, we've got one here. That's the second one on the 21st of February. And then we've got one on the 23rd of November. So looking forward to those games there. If anything crazy happens when I'm, not on camera, I will, of course, turn the camera on and show you guys. But realistically, we'll go through the games. We'll see how things go. And yeah, this is a 1-season challenge. The first type of video I've ever tried to do like this. So we'll just see how it goes. And my alarm's going off. But there you go. So I will see you guys back for the Leicester game just to let you know anything that might have happened, and we will go from there. All right then, lads, welcome back. We are just before the Leicester game. Now, let me just quickly say something, right? So I thought this was going to be a tough challenge. I really did. I mean, it's a tough challenge on paper, but my word, I did not realize how tough this was going to be. They are quite literally selling my players without my consent. I did not know this was going to happen. I knew that obviously there needs to be funds recouped and stuff. Teams are coming through and the board are doing all the negotiations. And I don't know what's going on. Reece Johnson has been sold without my consent. Sean Faziri has been sold without my consent. Charlie McNeil has been sold without my consent. And there's a little bit of decent money coming back in. The problem is now, is if I quickly just show you the first team here, we're about to lose this man. We're about to lose this man. He was supposed to be the main man of the whole challenge. Bailey Cadamartri is going to Wolves. The offer's accepted, £2.7 million. All I can hope is that the board just go, right, let him spend some cash now. Let him bring in, it's not like a spend some cash, let him bring in free agents and some loans, else we are quite literally screwed. Now, you may have also noticed, so Piers Charles is out for 7 weeks to 3 months. Iorfa is out for 7 weeks to 3 months. Deshaun Bernard is out to 4 to 5 months, ACL. Harry Amas is injured for 6 to 9 weeks. Max Lowe is injured for 2 to 3 months. We're actually screwed. There is no way that we are going to do this challenge now. Surely it is impossible. They are just selling everyone. They're going to be going in for anyone who's wanted is basically gone. Feast your eyes, because as soon as an offer comes in, the board are just going to accept it. Now, I'm actually just going to check. Is it delegated that they sell players? It shouldn't be. But yeah, I am in charge. That's right. Incoming offers. Yeah, it's me. It should be me. I just had to double check this because I thought I must have ticked the setting or something. Just realising now No, these guys, this board here, Joe Mountford is on a mission to destroy this club even more. Now, the only thing that might save me is, and there is talk of this as well, of a potential, takeover. That's what I'm trying to say. And if that does happen, maybe in January we can do something to try and save ourselves. But as you can see, we've got 34 grand a week that we could be spending. And in terms of the actual sort of debts and loans, okay, there's obviously a lot of debt. I'm thinking in order for us to get out of a transfer embargo, surely we don't have to clear this. Surely we don't have to clear 66 million quid. If we do, I don't think we're doing that this season. But in terms of the actual finances itself, the balance, we started on 2 million. Look at this. Look at this. So surely, soon, they're going to let me spend some cash and we get this transfer embargo lifted. I don't know if we're going to win. At the minute, we don't have a left back. And the first game of the season the first game of the season is now. The first game of the season is now. In terms of how we got on in pre-season, bit of a mixed bag, losing to Girona 7-0, Newcastle 3-1, but then beating Nottingham Forest and then obviously beating Sheffield, whoever Sheffield was. This was a testimonial, I believe. 8-0. So I'm just very, very confused as to how we're actually going to get on. And we just need to try our best to get anyone through the door by the end of August. But first and foremost, we're up against Leicester, and this is going to be a tough game. Right then, this is going to be our team. This is actually miserable, genuinely miserable. So we've got Palmer over there at left wing back as well. So we'll see how that goes there. We're just so short on numbers all around the pitch. Chalobah, Bannon, that should be a solid 2 there. Cooper in the middle, the 2 young lads around him. Valerie, Lowe, Ingleson, and Cadamartri. Because you know what? Hopefully he gets injured. I'm actually hoping and praying he gets injured for a couple of weeks just so he fails the medical, doesn't move. But, I mean, the bench is woeful as well. So we're going to have to see how we're going to get on. I'm looking at this man here, George Brown. He might have to be the guy that replaces Cadamartri, but here we go then, up against Leicester. This is going to be absolutely painful. Now, hold on a minute here. 27 seconds in. Jan Valerie. Ball in. Ingleson. Oh, my word. 30 seconds in, and we have scored on the first game of the season. What is going on there? Unbelievable. Jan Valerie, what a ball in this is. He does so well. He just sort of just floats it in. It might even take a deflection. Just about gets it in. Back post Ingleson. I wasn't sure if it's just that first highlight of the game. We are 1-0 up against Leicester in what will likely be the hardest challenge that you can probably do on Football Manager. What a start that is. And now here does come Abdul Fatawu, Leicester. They're going to want to get a quick turnaround here. Probably a bit embarrassed to concede that quickly in the game. Lewis Page. Here's Fatawu. They've got such a good team. Ricardo Pereira also as well. Fatawu's ball's good. James, okay. Carranza makes it 1-1. And the hope is there. At least it's not 1-0 to them. Not sure about the marking in the middle. Fatawu here does really well. That run from Jordan James is superb. Ball finds him, and I mean, it's just far too easy. Now, that's Liam Cooper in the middle there that tries to challenge the ball. That's an experienced centre-half. I expect a bit better from him there, but ultimately, 1-1, it's okay. Okay, second half, first real highlight here. Valerie will take the throw to Jamal Lowe. Here's Valerie. He's already had one good cross. Looking after it well. Jamal Lowe still has it into the box. Ball in. And it's there. It's Bailey Cadamartri who gets the goal. The man that is leaving for Wolves. We've played him. He's not got injured like I hoped he would. Instead, he's actually got us a goal. But again, this is where I can see us having a lot of success this season. Jan Valerie and Jamal Lowe, 2 very experienced key players for us in an inexperienced squad, across to Bailey Cadamartri, and he has put the ball into the back of the net. And we find ourselves in the lead in this game once again. I'm sure Leicester are going to do their best to come back at us here. Samare, Pereira, look at that. The defensive shape taking real shape there. Fatawu, whenever this man gets the ball, I'm worried. It seems to all go through him when they attack. He'll do his man there. We've got Jessup on the young... Oh, Thornton, another young lad. Trips Fatawu, and it is a penalty. It's never a yellow card though, ref. It's just a talking to. Just get on with it now. It's just a talking to. Good. We've got to avoid these yellow cards. The squad is thin. And of course they score. But the squad is thin. We can't afford players to be picking up yellows and then getting suspended. So, look, 2-2 against Leicester. I will absolutely take this. Half-decent penalty. Ethan Horvath in goal. Let's see how close he gets. Does he go the right way? I didn't actually take too much notice. He does go the right way, but he's stuck in the mud, isn't he? Of course he is. So that is 2-2. And, you know, we're still in this game. Leicester having a decent second half, though, I've got to say. Hold on. There we go. Hey, listen, that is a great first game. A great first point. As I say, minus 17 now against one of the better teams in the league. I mean, Fatawu, Jordan Ayew, that Carranza guy, like Vestergaard, Face, Ricardo, like their team is really good. And we've just gone there with a team. We've been stripped. We have been stripped. And I have to say, fair play. That is a very satisfying result, lads. What a performance. What a performance. Yeah. I'm feeling quietly more optimistic. I thought we'd get battered in that game and it was going to be really, really difficult because we're going to be like, oh, wow, and we've lost loads of players. Not the case at all. Not the case at all. So what we will do is, you know, I'm trying to do one game a month. We'll get to the end of August and we'll play this game against Bristol City. We'll play the game against Bristol City. We'll see if anything happens in the transfer window. If the embargo gets lifted or anything like that, of course, I will let you know. I'm not feeling confident. Let's hope they don't sell the whole squad by the time we get there. But yeah, a good first point. Let's just have a look. I know it's not the most pleasant viewing, but let's have a look. Yeah, minus 17. 0 goal difference. Hey, it could be worse, couldn't it, after the first game? It could be, wow. Yeah, it could be worse. It could be worse. All right, guys, we are back a little bit earlier than expected. Reason being, it's because we have been taken over. There was rumours, nothing concrete, and it's just sort of happened overnight. So what this means is, it means that there is now, wait for it, the board have lifted the transfer embargo. This now means we can get a few players in. Now, don't get me wrong, recruitment-wise, you know, I mean, we've got 39 grand available, so some free transfers, some loans maybe. That would be fantastic to get a few players in. It would be great. But ultimately, we don't have much still to play with. So if we look at the club's finances, a bit of a different story now. The debt is completely down to £10 million. And in terms of our overall balance, it's gone up as well. Now, remember, we did also sell Bailey Cadamatri. So this is where we are. So it was just a very quick jump in to let you know we might actually make some signings. There are some, I was about to say some sales. Believe me, we've made those against my will as well. Remember, board, if you were just a few weeks earlier, we could have kept some good players. Anyway, if you look at this here, it is the 28th of August. So we have got a week or so to try and make some additions. So I will come back to you, as I said I would, at the end of the month for the Bristol City game with hopefully some new signings. All right then, guys, welcome back. It is time for the Bristol City match, as you can see here. And it's been a very difficult time since I last left you guys. Of course, that 2-2 draw with Leicester, everything felt a little bit hopeful. Everything was positive. We can do this, etc., etc. We played Burton in the Carabao Cup. I mean, you won't be able to pick much out from this, but if you look at, I mean, the actual stats was relatively close, but the team that we put out, it was literally full of under 18s. It was quite literally, get me knocked out of this competition. We don't have the squad to deal with this. So realistically, at the Carabao Cup, I don't really mind. Remember, our side quest number 2 is the FA Cup 5th, 6th round. Just have a bit of a cup run in this season of turmoil. So don't mind that at all. Now, in regards to the championship, it's not really been amazing. Stoke, this was a great result. And if you look at the actual stats, we're the better team here. And it's exactly the same if you look at the stats for the other games too. I believe it was really this game here that, yeah, again, how we lost this game, I don't know. I mean, Wrexham, a decent side, but look at that. We absolutely dominated on the stats, in my opinion, and should have got the result. Now, Swansea, a little bit different. We managed to pull 1 goal back in this game, but realistically, they were probably the better team. Deserved to win, and in all fairness to them, they played very well. So, no complaints about that there, but for the rest of the results, it's not been the greatest. We should be converting more chances. So, last time I checked in with you, we did have our transfer embargo lifted. So, we've made a couple of signings, a few deadline day signings. So, of course, not spending any money, but this is who we have brought in. So, up first, we have got this lad here, Magassa from West Ham. To be honest with you, very, very decent stats all across the board. Exactly what I like to see. He is not going to be a centre-back. Can play there if we need him to. He's going to be a defensive midfielder. So very happy with this one. I think we're paying 10% of his wages, so £4,500 a week, which is a great deal in my eyes. And then we've got this man here, former Aston Villa striker. I remember when Cameron Archer came on the scene, he was like the next big thing. So hopefully he can find that form with us, on loan from Southampton in the same division as us. So won't be able to play against them, but ultimately very, very happy with this man here. I just think his physical's really nice, some solid mentals, the 14 finishing as well. We need someone to put the ball in the back of the net. Here is Cameron Archer. So very happy with that signing there. We've also got Tommy Watson, former Sunderland, on loan from Brighton. He's going to play on the right-hand side for us. Him and Jamal Lowe. And then, of course, we've got Ingleson on the left. So can play both, though. And if we need him to, I'm sure he will. So Tommy Watson comes in, another decent loan signing. We then decided, right, let's go and get a bit of experience, and that is why Craig Dawson is now a Sheffield Wednesday player. I just think for that back line, his experience should be absolutely fantastic. Realistically, it could be, I feel as though he might get caught out on the high line. And if he does get caught out on the high line, that's going to be frustrating for us, to be honest. But we'll see how it goes. I just think an experienced head in that back three with the young players can work really well. And then finally, speaking of young players, we've got Kota Takai on loan from Tottenham. Like him a lot, 6'4", not the quickest in all fairness to him, but great physicals, great mentals, great technicals, all in the right areas. Very happy with this one as well. Here we go then. New recruits in the team, some on the bench, some sprinkled into the first team. And this is a bit of positivity. There are new owners here. Yes, we are still minus 16 points, and you'll have a look at it here any second now. Still minus 16 points, which, disappointing. There was actually a glitch. Once we got taken over, it was like board happy with progression, and it was like avoiding relegation. And I was thinking, what? And it said 0 points. And I was like, oh my God, the transfer, it's been lifted, and also the points deduction's not there. Yeah, that was not the case. And we are still definitely minus 16 points. But hope, positivity back into this Sheffield Wednesday team. Let's see how we get on here. Now we're looking at Bristol City coming forward. Here's McCory. Knocking it back. We're nice and compact defensively. Oh, I thought we'd won the ball there. Emil Reese, Jason Knight, Randall. They're knocking it round, knocking the door. Can we hold firm? Oh, it's lovely football. It's lovely football. Is it offside? It is offside. If you couldn't see it, the linesman flag at the bottom left of the screen there. Wow, bottom right even. Offside, and we have been saved nicely there. Here is Craig Dawson, new signing. Captain material, I have to say. Chalobah, love that. Straight through the middle. Cameron Archer to Valerie. Get in the box, lads. Get in the box. They are. Jamal Lowe. I said I liked him. I said I've been impressed with him. Tommy Watson on his heels, but he is demonstrating why he should be in this team. And we just find ourselves 1-0 up. Cameron Archer picks it up, sprays a lovely ball. Valerie gets the ball down to the byline, as he's done so many times for us already this season. Into Jamal Lowe, the inside forward. The tactics, they're working. And we are 1-0 up against Bristol City. Great start from the lads. Scott Twine will pick it up for them. Into Knight. Emil Reese, one-on-one. Horvath couldn't catch a cold. And it's 1-1. We are waiting for Piers Charles to come back. I mean, I obviously didn't go and get another goalkeeper in on loan. Maybe I should have looked at doing it. I'll have a look to see if there's any free agents. Again, he's not been too bad. But again, Emil Reese through one-on-one here. He makes no mistake about it. Horvath, it's not the best goalkeeping in the world, is it? But disappointing to concede one there, because we've been on top. We have been on top, but positivity still remains. We've probably been the better team, and maybe a draw at half-time's a fair result, but it would sting if they did get one back. Palmer, great challenge from him there. He's got Cameron Archer. This time, Cameron Archer one-on-one. Please, Cameron. It's gone in. Hey, it's a Rob Dickey own goal. But Cameron Archer, the man that's in the right position, we will say that. Everything we seem to do, he's involved somehow. Leon Palmer, though, so impressive from him. Not a left-back, playing left-back. Slips in Cameron Archer. Running through on goal. I'm confused as to why this is an own goal. Was that how bad the shot was? Cameron Archer might just need a bit of time to warm up. But 2-1 hopefully takes us into the break. Another chance for Bristol City. I don't think I've ever had a game with this many highlights in. Hang on a minute. Watson. Oh, Watson. I thought he could have got that. And if he did, we were in. Here's Dickey for them. Can we win it? No, we can't. He's offside. Surely, Lino. Lino, please, Lino. Oh, God, it's 2-2. 2-2. And listen, they have been good in this game. They have. But I just feel as though this was a game we could have won. Oh, no. Oh, Weaver. Young Ernie Weaver. Massive challenge, that is. Sakara, don't mess it up. Come on. Lovely. Lovely, lovely football. Watson, he's been very impressive since he came on. Cameron Archer, this is your moment. This is your moment. That's his moment. Lino, don't do me dirty. Lino's not doing me dirty. Hold on a minute. Are we about to go and claim our very first victory as Sheffield United manager? Watson has been superb since he's came on. And this man, he's been wanting it all day long. He's missed chances he should have scored. But that is a solid finish from him. Cameron Archer makes it Sheffield Wednesday 3, Bristol City 2. Please don't do me like this. Please don't do me like this. This is our first win. This is huge for the challenge. We need wins like this. We can't afford to draw these sorts of games. And it looks as though we have done it. That is our very first win as Sheffield Wednesday manager, and nice work, everyone. That was superb. So then we will come back for a game in October, and I believe we might make that one Coventry City as well. Not a bad game. They'll be near the top of the table. Could be a good one, but we'll assess the situation. But we'll be back for a game in October. Let's just very quickly. Again, we know it's not going to change much. Minus 13. We are 14 points from safety. Still a way off, but a very good start. All right then, lads. Welcome back. We're just before the Coventry City game. And as you can see, we have chipped away a little bit. We're minus 10 points, so we're still 17 points off safety, which, okay. We're 1 point worse off than the start of the season. Progress is still progress. Don't care what you say. But we've had a few mixed bag results, and this is sort of why. So Bristol City, where we last left off, a great 3-2 win. We then lost 4-1 to Portsmouth, absolutely battered in this game as well. We then lost 3-1 to QPR, again, battered in that game too. Never really looked interested in getting back into the game. And then I switched the shape. And I switched the shape in the second half of the QPR game. The reason being is because I just sort of watched all these goals coming in. Even if you look at the win we've got, the 3-2, we still conceded 2 goals, 3 goals, 1 goal, 2 goal. It goes on to the start of the season. Even against Birmingham, we conceded 1. So I just thought, do you know what? We're not going to get out of this hassle. We're not going to get out of this trouble we're in unless we go for it. So I've switched us to a 4-2-3-1. Now, when watching the games, I would often see we'd get the ball turned over around this part of the pitch here, right where Ingleson is here. And the reason for that, I believe, is because Ingleson wasn't there. We didn't have a number 10. So now I've decided to take a centre-back out, still have Barry Bannon being able to sit a little bit here and there, and then have Ingleson to just link everything together. The inside forwards, they come inside. Ingleson in the middle, spraying balls left, right and centre, and I'm hoping it's going to do everything we need it to help us survive. So in possession, we're like this, and then out of possession, we are like this. So nice and defensive where we need to be to try and cover not having that additional centre-back, but we'll see how it goes. But as I say, we've got Coventry up now, and I'm, interested to see how we get on. As we just saw a moment ago, Coventry absolutely flying at the minute. Absolutely flying. They are in 3rd place, and they're only a couple... they're 3 points behind top of the league, Ipswich and Leicester. So let's see how we get on. A real tough test here against Coventry. Here's Leon Palmer on a yellow card, so he needs to be careful. Oh, the amount of times we're giving the ball away today. Crazy. Anyway, Van Evik, we know he's got a lot of pace on him. Gaedi, that's what his name is. There we go. Hadji Wright. Driving through, Hadji Wright, and it's a goal. 9 goals in 9 games for Hadji Wright, but it stings for us. I really thought we'd be in this game in the second half. We managed to survive the first half, but this is too easy. Matt Grimes, look at that. I mean, Hadji Wright absolutely leaves Craig Dawson for dead, and Horvath, who has been decent, can only do so much, and we find ourselves 1-0 down. Here is Leon Palmer. And we are desperate to just get a chance here. I feel like all we need is that one big moment. But we keep giving the ball away in silly areas. I'm hoping we don't do that here. Coventry look very compact. Here's Shipston. Shipston, good ball. Palmer. Come on, bit of quality needed. Watson at the back post. Watson scores. And it is 1-1. Game on. Absolutely game on. I actually switched just to attacking, brought on Watson, even though he was a bit tired, but ultimately that's a massive goal there. Now, all we've got to do here is try and hold on to a point against one of the best teams in the league. But Palmer, on the left foot, now he's not a left-footed player. He's a right-back playing left-back. We've got Harry Amass and Max Lowe very close to coming back. Fair play to him there. That is a great ball. And all of a sudden, we find ourselves level. Why do I speak? Why do I speak? Why do I speak? Radoni's ball in. We've cleared it, but they're going to get it back. Victor Tort back to Radoni. Oh, not like this, lads. Come on. Not so quick after we've just managed to get the equaliser. Don't foul him. Don't foul. Shipston. See, this is the issue where you have quite a few inexperienced players. Now, Shipston there, he's tried to get the ball. He's been booked for it as well, which I think is probably a bit harsh. But he's tried to get the ball. It hasn't worked. And now it's surely going to be that we find ourselves back to 2-1 down. Ethan Horvath, this is your moment. This is your moment. Hadji Wright steps up. And Hadji Wright makes it 2-1. And there we go. There we go. So we find ourselves 2-1 down. We'll go back to attacking, see if we can get anything out of this. But Hadji Wright, he's never missing from there, is he? And there we go. It is Coventry 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Look at the stats. So in this game, probably deserved something out of it. In fact, I'd go as far as saying we definitely did. But it's another game that we have not got anything from. And it leaves us still where we were a moment ago. And that is rock bottom of the table on minus 10 points. So when will I next see you guys? Well, I'm going to play a load of games off camera now. We're going to come back into mid-December for the game against Sheffield United. A very important game. Remember the side quest of this video. We've got to finish positive with Sheffield United. It means we've just got to make sure they don't beat us twice or beat us and then we draw. We want to just be at least even at the end of the season. So I'll see you for the Sheffield United game. All right then, we are here for this Sheffield United game. The Sheffield derby, looking to get one over on our Sheffield rivals. Now, they are doing very well. They are actually in the playoff race. As for us, of course, last time I left you, we just lost to Coventry City. Okay, a little bit frustrating, but I am very pleased to say our change of shape has worked really, really well. So as you can see, here we go. So we won 5 games in a row, which when you are Sheffield Wednesday, that is superb. And in terms of, how the team's been getting on, as you can see here, Cameron Archer's been doing well. We've also had some help from this man here. Have to give him a shout out. Magassa. He is absolutely superb. If you are in the Championship and you need someone on loan, go and get this man. He is phenomenal. So we've had help from a lot of players. A lot of players getting involved. Tommy Watson, he's come back from injury. Olaf here. Olaf Kabachi, he's been absolutely superb, as has Ingleson too. So we've had some real standout performers, but we are sandwiched like an Oreo between two losses. So in terms of the form, couldn't be happier. In terms, going into this massive game, remember side quest number 2, we have to finish positive result-wise with Sheffield United. So that means that they just cannot beat us. We've got to just focus on drawing and then we'll go all out to win the next one. Although this one is at Hillsborough, so maybe bear that into consideration. But in terms of the league table, I'm pleased to announce, as you may have just seen there, we're not bottom of the Premier League. We're definitely not bottom of the Premier League. We're not bottom of the Championship. And we're also not on minus points. And we have a positive goal difference. Like, guys, it's happening. We're doing it, Level on points with West Brom. West Brom, by the way, their squad's far too good to go down there. Ryan Mason has been sacked, but we are on 5 points. Now, that means that we are 9 points away from Derby and safety. So I'm feeling very confident. Now, if I'm going to be completely honest, and this may sound crazy to you guys, bearing in mind we are only in November, I'm looking at maybe top half. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. A top half could be possible, but I don't know if I'm just riding a bit of a high of how good this team has been. We're going to need to make a couple of signings in January, so leave that with me, but it doesn't get bigger than this. It is the Sheffield derby, and we have got to try and win this game. Corner here. Now, 5 wins in a row, obviously, before the Southampton game. Listen, I would swap all of those 5 wins for a win here. Here's Cameron Archer. We mentioned him. That's a good effort. It's a good save from Cooper as well. Very good effort there from Cameron Archer, and we have had the first chance. Well then, half time, and quite literally, other than that Cameron Archer chance, nothing happened in this game, apart from Max Lowe getting injured, which I've just seen. So let's hope for a more busy second half, but with Sheffield Wednesday chances. Louis Barry, it's a tight game. This is really tight. Barry drives inside, shot from Danny Ings. Barry back in. We'll clear it for now. Sariki, come on lads, stay strong. Big header that is from Palmer. Still with Callum O'Hare, and we've survived. Well done, lads. Good defending. Oh, boy. Straight back into it. Straight back into it. Hamer's corner. Whipped into the back post. We've cleared it. Not very far, though. Louis Barry shoots off the bar. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It looks like they have come out firing in this second half. We're struggling. Corner now to us. 15 minutes to go. Would I take a draw at this point? I'm not sure. Corner comes in. Hey, it's a penalty. Andy Madley has given us a penalty. Who's taking it? Of course. You know who's taking it. Barry Bannon. If there's anyone that deserves to score this, it's this man. It's this man. Barry. 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 But still Barry. Barry. I can't believe he's just missed that. I'd have put my house on it. Barry Bannon, man. Absolutely killer. Here he is now, though, trying to get creative. Barry Bannon. 1-2 with everyone. Ingleson to Jamal Lowe. Come on. There we go. 8 minutes to go. And Jamal Lowe has just saved Barry Bannon. Absolutely saved him. What a goal this is, by the way. I mean, the football. Barry Bannon's involved in all of it. Watson, Bannon, Ingleson, Jamal Lowe, look at that. Sort of like fakes the run, cuts inside Sariki or Tanganga, can't tell which one, and sends it past Cooper. No problems whatsoever. And we are leading the derby 1-0. And you know what? Yes, I'm going to go very defensive because we've got to hold on to this lead. This is one of our side quests. 5 minutes added on. Don't do it like this. Come on, lads. Hold firm. Oh, okay, fine. Oh, Jesus, don't do anything stupid. Pierce Charles has lost it. Great. Danny Ings through. Perez. Oh, killer. He's offside. He's offside. Oh, my. Come on. Offside. Wow. There you go. A penalty miss, a dodgy offside. This game has had it all, and it finishes Sheffield Wednesday 1, Sheffield United 0. Chris Wilder, thanks for coming, buddy. Thanks for turning up. We'll take those 3 points all day long. And Chris Wilder is troubled by the defeat, as you should be, Chris, as you should be. Thanks for coming. So, what a win that is, by the way. What a win. You know, after the Southampton game, I was fearing a little bit because in this game, I'll just very quickly show you, we were definitely, in my opinion, bar possession, the better side here and probably deserved more from it. So, to lose that game, sometimes in Football Manager, I just feel this mid-season slump coming, but not to be here. So, I will come back to you guys, I think I'll come back for you, either Derby or Blackburn. I'll assess the situation. We'll get to the January transfer window very soon, make a couple of signings, but Derby or Blackburn, I think. I think maybe leaning more towards Blackburn. It's whoever's going to be the nearest to us in the relegation zone. If we do get out of it, I obviously want you guys to see that on camera. So let me assess the situation and we'll hopefully be back then. We're on a roll and yeah, let the good times keep rolling. All right, lads, we are back for the Derby game. And well, as you can see, I did say I was going to assess the situation, but one thing I probably didn't think about was goal difference. As soon as we go level on points with someone, we're going to just fly above them because our goal difference is obviously much better than the teams around us. So, yeah, apologies. I wanted to show the game where we do actually leave the relegation zone, and it has come a little bit early. So, we are sat in 21st position, and we're, the middle of December, dead on. This is an insane recovery. I thought this was going to be so hard, but we just keep winning. Let me show you how we've got on. So, quite literally, we went away from Sheffield United. We had a 2-2 draw with Millwall. Tough game. But then, as you can see, 4-2 against Preston. A 1-0 win against Blackburn. A 4-1 win against Watford. So we are absolutely flying. Now, as I just said a moment ago, I mean, look at where we are in the table. We are currently sat 21st on 18 points. Now, there's 15 points between us and the playoffs. 15 points. If we win our game in hand, which is now, and we are against Derby, who are in the relegation zone, that goes to 12 points. We have half a season to close 12 points. Now, I might have to change this challenge. I'm actually going to change it right here and right now. We're going to have a little bit of an assessment. We've already done the main quest. The main quest was to survive relegation. I would be astonished if we currently were like going to get relegated from this position. I'd be astonished. So what we're going to do is we are now going to change the challenge. And the challenge is going to be from Sheffield Wednesday's position, minus 18 points, to promotion. We are going to try and get the playoffs, because I just think the video may as well end now. I mean, we're obviously not getting relegated. So let's forget top half. Let's go for the playoffs and let's see if we can do the impossible. So the one season challenge now is promotion. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Do you know what? I've had a change of plan. What we're going to do instead is we're at Ipswich. They're second. Okay. Well, what we're going to do instead is we may as well, instead of playing on camera against the smaller teams, we should be focusing on the teams in and around the playoffs. So who are our playoff contenders? We've got Swansea, Sheffield United. That would be insane. Swansea, Norwich, Middlesbrough, Hull. So when do we next play? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to come back for this game against Hull and see if we can take some points off our promotion rivals. I know that sounds crazy to say in 21st, but yeah, I'll be back for that game. Yeah. I was talking about playoffs. I said, Derby, we won't even play this game. That's how irrelevant Derby are. They're below us. Yeah. I think, do you know what? A bit of humble pie probably suited us here. I mean, we're the better team on paper, but it doesn't matter. The score says 2-1 to Derby, as you can see. This was a disappointing one. I actually was talking about 12 points when we win our we win our game in hand, and we didn't do that. So that's frustrating. But if we had Ipswich next, how are we going to respond? That was always the big question there, wasn't it? If you're going to try and get the players, you've got to respond big. And that is what we did. We went out there and we beat Ipswich 5-0 away from home. By the way, Ipswich, who were second at the time, 5-0 away from home. Unbelievable performance from the lads. Really, really happy with that one there. So as things sort of stand, we're still in... And by the way, I found this shortcut. If you watch my Gillingham save, I struggled to find the table. I found this shortcut and it works very well. We're up to 19th. So if you look here, 35 points. There we are down in 19th. It's a shame we weren't able to win, but quick maths, 14 points. So the dream is still alive and we will try our best to get there. And I just know... I've already seen the script, by the way. And it is us versus Sheffield United in the playoff final. I can just see it. I can smell it a mile off. But anyway, we've got Hull now, a team that we can take some points off and close that distance. And what's crazy about this is it will actually mark the exact halfway point of the season. So a win here, and we will put ourselves into 18th position, hopefully. That is the hope there. And then it's just onwards and upwards. So let's get into this one. Can't believe we lost that Derby game. I actually wish I did film it, because... if you'd have seen me, I was just sat here. I have a YouTube video on here. It's like, but when I'm filming this, I was actually watching the Roy Keane talk about Michael Carrick getting into Manchester United, etc. And my face would have just been a picture, a bit like it is now, because Derby went 1-0 up. Hull have gone 1-0 up inside 2 minutes, offside. But my face was a picture. I wish you could have seen it, because I just thought, surely not against Hull of all teams. Derby even of all teams. Pandor's kick is not good. Cameron Archer beats Charlie Hughes to a head. I can't speak. Wayne Mardle will be proud. And we've scored, have we? Lino's flag stays down. I can't speak. For context, you won't see this in the video because I'm going to cut it out. I probably had a 3-minute highlight in-game, in-game 3-minute highlight where nothing happened. It was just watching the game. And then it's gone straight cut to this. Cameron Archer does really well. Ball across, a slight deflection, and Kabachi manages to get it in. And we find ourselves 1-0 up. Arguably undeserved, maybe. So, yeah, half-time on the horizon, though. Let's see how we get on in the second half. Takai, I think that's what it is with this team. The youth and the age, it's sort of mixing together, works really well. Shipston into Watson, Magassa, Low, tiki-taka, Cameron Archer, 2-0. What a start to the second half this is. We are on... Okay. I'm glad I didn't get into full spiel there. I'm glad I just sort of left it there. But yeah, still 1-0. They will clear, and we should recycle. Magassa does really well there. Really well. And the ball is dangerous. Ingleson, just come on. Oh, I thought we were through there. Barry Bannon. Back to Palmer. Good ball in. Cameron Archer. This man has been a revelation. But wait, Lino. Yes, fantastic stuff. Right, Cameron Archer has been a revelation for us. That is such a good goal. He's such a good sign-in. And, I obviously wanted to try and keep the signings as realistic as possible. There's a lot of free agents you can go and sign. And I'll get onto this in a minute in my January transfer window little talk. But Cameron Archer has come in. He's basically said, Sheffield United, see you later. I'm blue now. And he's single-handedly one of our best players that are keeping us, well, first of all, up and maybe even for the playoffs. All about winning games. I mean, this still might even be our highlight, to be fair. We're very good at recycling the ball. We win a lot of the headers, early doors in... Okay, we've lost that one. Okay, see, that's an example of what, we're not... Yeah. Okay, yeah. As I was... Sometimes you speak things into existence, but as I say, I don't care. I mean, it's come very direct. What I was going to try and say is normally we're great at winning the headers and the second balls, but we're clearly not in this example here. McBurney's gone through, Pierce Charles, it is what it is. Let me just not, let's just, don't do this, Let's just see the game out. The wins are the most important thing. Do not cut to the pitch. Do not cut to the pitch. There we go. And this is the thing now. So when you're trying to stay up in a relegation fight, games, they obviously matter. To say they don't matter would be crazy, but they clearly do matter. When we're now trying to do what we're trying to do in the playoffs, and as you can see from the table, it's Coventry City actually go top. So when we're trying to do what we're trying to do, we can't afford to slip up that many times. So this is why each game means a lot. So every game from here on out is a little bit like a cup final, a little bit, because we've got to make sure we win and win and win. If we don't, we're probably going to miss out on the playoffs. And I have a dream. I have a dream that we can get this done. As it loads in, we saw the table there. So where we are now, we've got Blackburn before the transfer window. So we'll come back for the Swansea game, I believe. Oh, of course, sorry. FA Cup third round against Preston is when you'll see me next. But then we'll come back for the Swansea game. I like to get the transfer window out the way. Expect a bit of movement. We've got around 285 grand to work with. We'll be trying to get a few deals. In my opinion, when I look at the squad and when I have to bring players on, where are we lacking? I'm thinking we're lacking in another winger. And I also think we're lacking maybe in a striker. I like George Brown. He's done all right. But I think if we go and get a striker in their mid-30s who's maybe transfer listed, looking to just play some football, that could be perfect for us. Him and Cameron Archer sharing the game time, same for the winger. So that is that there. So I will see you guys next, of course, for that big game in the FA Cup. Remember the side quest. We want to hit the 5th or 6th round. Hey, I actually believe it could be possible now, so I will see you then. All right then, lads, we are back. We are in the January transfer window, 10 days in. I don't have any new signings to give you. I do have a couple of departures I can very quickly show you. Of course, this is where we are in the table. Now at 16th position, 31 points. How many points are we off? We're 15 points off the playoffs. So it's going to be difficult. But we've got time. We've got time. In terms of how the games have gone, there's not been many since I last spoke to you. We have had Blackburn a 1-0 win, a 2-1 win against Preston, which is interesting, 92nd minute winner. And then we've also had a late goal against QPR to draw level. It was a late goal against, 85th minute against Blackburn as well. So we are the king of late goals, but this game here against Preston in the FA Cup, remember one of the side quests, the main quest was to survive relegation. Now it's to get the playoffs. Crazy how that's gone. But a side quest was to finish positive against Sheffield United and also make sure we get to the 5th or 6th round in the FA Cup. I think I'll base that on who we have. If we have a low-end Premier League team or a Championship team or below, then I think, it's got to be 6th round. But if we do get a Man City, Arsenal, Villa, someone like that, a good team, then we're just going to have to accept it is what it is. But we're going to give it a go. So let me just very quickly show you the transfer business. Now, made a bit of a mistake here. I'll be completely honest. So Deshaun Bernard has gone to Wolves. £6 million was the transfer fee. And the board were like, it said 6 million will go into the budget. And here we are, no 6 million in the budget. So I've asked for the transfer revenue spend to be increased under the new owners. We'll have to see what happens. So no signings from us just yet. If we don't get any money, we're going to have to be very clever with who we do get. Being honest, one season challenge,
I wouldn't have let him go unless I thought I was getting the money. So there we go. Anyway, let's get into this FA Cup game. All right, then here we go up against Preston in a very, very big game because the FA Cup always has been, always will be important to me. It's one of my favourite times in English football. I feel as though as football fans, the FA Cup for the, as a Villa fan, sorry, should I say, the FA Cup has just become a bit less of a thing, like it would be great to go far in it, but there's all the focus on European football, etc. Lower teams, I feel like it will always be a massive thing, and I'm happy for that, but I'm hoping now the FA Cup gets a bit more of a spotlight just from fans in general, because it is one of the best things about English football, hands down for me. So let's see if we can go and get a win in this game, guaranteed. Now I've said all this and how much I like it. We'll lose 1-0. So there we go. And we'll just get straight into it. We have a corner here. Barry Bannon comes to Cameron Archer, who shoots and scores. And what a goal that is from Cameron Archer. So for some reason, our set pieces, Cameron Archer, he's not the tallest lad, is he? He sits on the edge of the box. In this position so often, we won't win that header. It gets cleared. It will come to Cameron Archer. And this time, he's just gone first time, bang. Everson, probably unsighted, goes in, and that is a great start for us. As I was saying, I love the FA Cup. Karsdorp, that's an interesting signing. I also saw Insigne went to Charlton, which is pretty mental. And Preston here, going to build out from the back. They've caused us problems. When we've played against them, they have caused us issues. And it's in situations like this. And Jamal Lewis has absolutely smashed that into the top corner. And we were level. Sorry, we were winning. We're now level, and their celebration, it just threw me a little bit there, a bit of a strange one. But Jamal Lewis here, driving forward and just smashes this into the top corner. Good finish from him. Forward, Barry Bannon inside the box. Kobachi, Masaga, this man. Listen, if you're doing a save and you're in the championship, go and get this man. He just scores these goals so frequently. So frequently. I want to actually see what his long shots are, because he scores so many of them. 11 long shots. It may as well be 20. Ball comes out to him here. I just want to just double check. So he takes a touch first and then shoots. And it feels like it's that every single time. Back in the lead, exactly where we should be. Another corner here, call us Arsenal. Whipped in. Good delivery. Craig Dawson, Mr. Experience, goes and makes it 3-1. I was enjoying my coffee. I was enjoying it. Also, pre the Villa mug. Hope everyone likes the look of this. It's, just the most Christmas present mug you've ever seen. But I tell you what isn't, a bit of a present. Craig Dawson there. Great header, actually. Great header from him. And we find ourselves now 3-1 up. This is exactly what we needed. A bit of a cushion. Everyone can start relaxing a little bit, go and play our football. We're dominating the stats. Well, that is round 3 ticked off. We have won 3-1 against Preston at Deepdale. Really good performance from the lads. And it will be all eyes now as to who we get in that next round. So round 4, we've got to get through round 4, no matter who we've got. Round 5, I'll be happy if we get there, if it is against a team like a Manchester United, etc. So what I will do here now then is we have got the rest of January for me to make some signings. Hopefully, doesn't look like we've got much money coming in, so it doesn't really matter. But we will then come back for the Swansea game to showcase our new signings. And then in fact, actually, I'll tell you what we'll come back for. We'll come back for this game against Sheffield United. We'll skip the Swansea game, back in for Sheffield United there. And then we've only got 3 games left before the final game of the season against West Brom. All right, lads, welcome back. It is officially February. We are actually at the next game, which isn't the game you might think it will be, as we do have our FA Cup draw, and it's a good one. So before we get into that, let me just show you the bits of business we did in January. Ernie Weaver did leave the club. We managed to get £3 million for him. I also managed to sort out how much transfer revenue we get as well. So that has allowed us to make some signings. He's a good player, great prospect. Wouldn't want to sell him if this was a long-term save. But it's all right to get rid of him. We need players that are here for the now. So, in terms of who we've got in, well, we've got this man right here, Michail Antonio. Of course, released from West Ham, had that horrible car accident, and he is now back playing football in
the game. Hopefully in real life as well. I've seen some rumours about Wickham. I don't know how true that is. Hopefully it is true and he gets back playing football. But great physicals, great mentals. And, you know, his finishing at 10 is not great. But realistically, as a sub to come on, I think this is a really clever signing. Then we have this man here, Nathan Redmond, also a free transfer. Now, this one for me, look at his stats. He is still a very solid option. Can play left mid, can play right mid, can go through the middle as well. So I just felt as though I was looking at who we could get on loan, and they're decent players, but Nathan Redmond, stats-wise, he's better. He's genuinely better. So we've gone for him, 15 work rate, 13 stamina. This guy has it all. Those 14 long shots as well. Let's see if he can let any of them go off. And then we signed this man here, Emiliano Marcondes, also a free transfer. And yeah, this guy is now injured for 4 months. So whoever passed his medical, I don't know. He's got a hip problem. Something tells me that had to be new. But regardless, he is out now for the rest of the season. So we signed him. He played one game, I believe. Did he play one game? Played one game and scored. I mean, I don't know how he's played no games and scored. Played one game and scored. And now we've lost him. But I also wanted to be safe rather than sorry. So I signed this man here. He was on the transfer list. And I just feel as though we're such an exciting club to be at the moment. Why would he not come here? 14 passing, 17 dribbling, 13 first touch. Such a good player. And he's going to be our main number 10. Can also play out wide. So I'm actually very happy I pulled the trigger on him because I wasn't going to. I was actually happy with Marcondes. I've gone for Sheffield Wednesday. I needed him because look at the position we are in now. So yeah, losing Marcondes but gaining Chad Vatstay, that's a good deal for me. In terms of recruitment, as you can see, we left ourselves positive. That wasn't a side quest or anything like that. I just wanted to make sure at the end of the transfer window, we just had enough money to stay positive because we are also Sheffield Wednesday, you know. I didn't want to plunge us back into the minus. That didn't feel right for the challenge. So then, since the Preston game, it's been a bit up and down, to be honest. Of course, we played Portsmouth and won 2-1, so very happy there. Michael Antonio managed to get on the score sheet for his first goal for us. Then we played Birmingham and lost 1-0, which, by the way, absolutely pained me. If you didn't know, I am an Aston Villa fan. And then we had this crazy game with Bristol City. I mean, it was absolutely mental. They went ahead, then we equalised. They then went ahead again and got one more, pulled one back. I was thinking, okay, we're in with a chance here. Mayulu sort of finished it off for us. Then we brought it back in the 81st minute, and I thought, we're not going to, surely. 4-4, and there was one more final goal, but it wasn't 4-4, it was 5-3. So Bristol City there giving us a very good game indeed. And then we also then went on and played a game against Millwall, drew 1-1. Very early goals, all inside 8 minutes. But I was sort of worrying there. There's a string of 3 results that I just didn't really like the look of. I was thinking, this isn't good for us. You know, if our campaign to get into the playoffs, we have to be almost perfect. But we did bounce back with back-to-back wins against Wrexham and Swansea. Now, I was going to come back to you guys for this game against Sheffield United. But of course, the FA Cup, I completely forgot that the 4th round would be somewhere around here. And we have got Newcastle. Wow, what a big tie. Remember, one of our side quests is to reach round 5 or 6. We have to reach round 5. That is the side quest. But if we do get an easy team, when I say easy, just someone that we could beat, I'll say round 6. But we have been thrown a real curveball here. Is there anywhere harder in England than St. James's Park? I genuinely don't think there is. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a double whammy. We're going to do this game against Newcastle, and then we're going to do this game against Sheffield United. So 2 huge games for us in our season. One in the FA Cup, one in the Championship. And just to let you know how things are going, okay, that's not what I wanted. I wanted the Championship. Just to let you know how things are going, we are currently 14th, sat on 41 points, and we are we're 11 points off. 11 points off, so we have closed the gap slightly, but those losses to Birmingham and who else did we lose to? We lost to Birmingham. We also lost to, was it Bristol City? Yeah, those 2 losses there really have killed us a little bit. So we need to bounce back. Up first Newcastle, then Sheffield United. Bringing the ball forward with Joe Willock. Yeah, this is going to be a tough game. Is it going to start awfully? We've managed to get it away. Redmond won't get there.
Ashby inside to Willock. Oh, it's great football. This would be such a good goal. Yeah, lovely football from Newcastle. And 2 minutes in, we are absolutely silenced, as the away end actually is behind the goal there. But absolutely silenced from Newcastle so early on. Ashby, Willock, 1-2s. And I said he'd be their weakness. Joe Willock involved in everything. Pulls the ball across. And who is there? Johan Wissa in the sea of bodies. So a lot to do now. I really want to try and pass this side quest. I really do. So let's see what we can do. Can we turn it round? Right then, 6 minutes in. Can we get a quick response? You know, I set the side quest for the FA Cup because I was really, really hoping we'd get someone like a League Two or a League One, even a Championship team, and we could get through a few rounds, have a cup run. But you're up against one of the toughest teams in England here, and Wissa's through. Wissa scores. Newcastle 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0. And the FA Cup side quest looks over and we're not even 10 minutes in. Not even 10 minutes in. And I think I'm going to give it to around 55 minutes. And I might have to go. I mean, if this goes in, I'll make the change now. I'm going to go for something pretty crazy and I'll show you it as well. Let's hope we don't concede though. Johan Wissa, Jacob Ramsey, Alanga. Right, that's it. We're making the change. We're making the change. Sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures. Ultimately, if we lose this game 8, 9, 10-0 now, I don't care. So we've changed the shape. This is us in possession. It is practically all out attack. Even the centre-backs should move up into defensive midfield, which seems pretty crazy. We'll have to see how it goes. They might genuinely just do us 10-0 now, but I'd rather lose 10-0. As I say, out of possession, we're going to keep it, but we're just going to sort of bring people back slightly. Only very slightly, though. This is how it looks combined. It is an absolutely crazy formation, a crazy style of play. We're going to go very attacking. I mean, you're either now going to get a compilation of their goals or you're going to see the greatest comeback of all time. I'm hoping for the latter. Right, well, it's all Sheffield Wednesday here. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This is what we were worried about. Maybe I should have left one person back. Johan Wissa goes for his hat-trick. Isn't selfish. Lewis Miley. Back. Willock. Ramsey. Great turn. And they're not shooting. Are they pitying us? Wissa does shoot. Great block that is there, though. And we do survive for a moment longer. Well, that is full time, and we have officially failed our side quest of getting to round 5 or 6 in the FA Cup. And do you know what? We were the underdogs. Well, I don't care, lads. We were the underdogs. We were never meant to win this game. It's unfortunate, but all eyes now have to focus on the league. We have to now. Because what I'm going to say is I don't want us to fail both the side quests, which means we have to make sure that we at least draw in this game against Sheffield United next. Because if they beat us, technically that doesn't count. Because that means they've beaten us and it's level. We have to make sure that we at least draw this game. Else that both side quests gone in the space of a couple of days in the game, that is going to sting. All right, then, straight back into it. Sheffield United, remember, we beat them in our first game, so we want to try and make sure that we at least draw this game to pass the side quest. Already failed one, got to pass this one. Realistically, we've done the main quest. We're now looking for the playoffs. Sheffield United are flying, by the way, sat up there in second position, and it's raining, it's miserable. This is Sheffield. This is the Steel City derby. Come on, the Owls. Let's make sure we get the job done. I don't want to lose this one. I really, really don't. So we've got to try and get a bit of possession here. We've had no shots so far in the first 15. They've had 4 or 5. As they bring in the ball forward here. Sariki on the ball. Can we get a tackle in? We can't. Ogbene. Ball across. And it's 1-0. Danny Ings. 1-0 Danny Ings. So in order to sort of not fail the side quest, because we won the game 1-0, if it stays as it is here, technically we don't win, but we also don't lose the side quest. So I'm going to try and make sure we do not concede more than 1 goal. If we do, we officially lose it, but it's going to feel like a loss, isn't it? It's going to feel like a loss. Well, it has been a shambles of a 35 minutes so far. And again, it looks as though they're just dealing with everything we're throwing at them. Really, really disappointed with how the team's playing as Cooper has the ball here. They'll go long. Can we win the second ball? Yes, we can, but we can't win the second ball from that. And Danny Ings is through on goal. And it's 2-0 to Sheffield United. And just like this, we are watching ourselves fall apart the last 2 games. I mean, this is far too easy. We win the first header, don't win the second header. And look how easy that is. Callum O'Hare. This man is 5'4", and he's managed to win a header. Danny Ings 1-on-1. There's not many in the Championship you'd want in front of that position than him. So
Oh, God, what a disappointing few games this is looking like. Not even a shot on target. So disappointing. Right, I asked for something different in this second half. This is the first chance of us actually on the ball. As Magassa plays it forward, Watson far too easily loses it. And I don't know what's just happened. It's gone in. It's Mikel Antonio that scored it. I mean, we're going to have to watch this back. Does anyone even know what happens? It looks like he tries to tackle him. So Magassa plays it forward. Tom Watson, awful ball. But then Antonio just sort of like, they get tangled and he just goes, screw it, I'm shooting. And it deflects, it's pinballed off Cooper. But we find ourselves 2-1 down and back in this game. Somehow, Ingleson apparently scored it. Crazy. Sheffield United corner. It's not looking good, lads. Ball in, we've dealt with it, but they're going to come straight back. Callum O'Hare. Burrows goes for goal. Oh, my word. I can't believe he's just scored that. Now, it looks as if it's bad goalkeeping from Piers Charles. It's a nice finish from Harrison Burrows. But this is absolutely killer for us. The corner comes in. We half deal with it. Comes straight back out here. Sariki plays it to O'Hare. He's just come back from onside because it goes to Ogbene first. I mean, that is ridiculously easy. And we are now looking like we're going to fail this side quest. And it's looking like that is going to be full time. The side quest looks like it's dead and buried. It looks like it's done. Magassa, Palmer, Magassa, Bannon shoots and it goes wide. And that is the story of these last two games. Out of the FA Cup, and we have lost to Sheffield United. And we've lost on aggregate, technically, if you class it as two legs. Absolutely killer. Both side quests done here and now. The only way that... Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I'm losing the dressing room as well, live here. But the only way that we do not lose this side quest is if we get them in the playoffs. Now, the chances of this happening, because they look pretty good in second place there, slim. Really, though, mainly slim, because we're going to really struggle to catch these points up now. 13 games to go. We're going to have to be pretty perfect, but this is such a disappointing result. So, here's what we will do. We will next come back next month, and I believe we will come back against Ipswich. I think we'll come back against Ipswich over here, and then we'll play one of the games from this point here, see who's in and around the playoffs, who we need to take points from, and we'll finish off with this West Brom game here. Unless, of course, we get the playoffs, and then we'll play them. But, okay then, I will catch you guys next for this game against Ipswich. All right, lads, welcome back. And, yeah, as you can see, season's been a little bit derailed here. We've had a real bad patch of form. Of course, after Newcastle, Sheffield United, we drew with Norwich, and I thought, okay, not the end of the world. Norwich, currently, we're actually sat in 6th in that position, so I thought, okay, it is what it is. We then lost 3-0 to Southampton before drawing 2-2 to Derby, losing 2-1 to Watford, beating Ipswich 3-2 though, which was a great result. And you're probably thinking, well, hold on a minute, Ben, you said we were coming back for the Ipswich game. Well, I've decided to make that game Hull. Simple reason. And that is because Hull currently 5th in the table. They're the one that we're going to catch. So I would just go and say this. We are currently what? We're some way off now. We are 14 points away and we've only got 7 games to go. The odds of it happening are slim. But what we've got to do is we've got to win almost every single game. Every single game left against all of these teams here, give or take, the odd draw might be all right. And so realistically, the reason why I'm bringing this is because, of course, the original aim, it was to survive relegation. Remember, we started on minus 18 points, and we have more than done that. We are 10 points clear of relegation. We then said mid-table. And then we said, let's make it the playoffs. So I'm going to say this now. If we don't win this game, the playoff dream is over. And this is the thing with the one season challenge. Sometimes it's going to go as we need it to. Sometimes it's not. But we're up against the Hull side here with everything on the line. We've got to restart ourselves here. I was hoping this result against Ipswich was the catalyst of change. I'm still hopeful it is. Hull have won the last 5 in a row. This is not going to be easy. Yeah, it all comes down to this. We've got to start winning. And if we don't beat Hull, I fear the playoffs might be over. But it's been some go. It's been some go nonetheless. Corner to Hull, 6 minutes in. Decent delivery there. We've dealt with it for now. Ball back in, cleared away again. Oh no. Oh no. Come on, lads. Deal with this. Deal with this. It's nice football from Hull, sorry, and it's a goal. And every game we've played, now just to let you know, I always play the games. For me personally, it helps me understand the team a bit more. I play every game off camera. I don't instant result, anything like that. This has happened so many times. We concede the first goal, and I just think, lads, what did we just speak about in the team talk? Because you just haven't taken it in, and we find ourselves 1-0 down. Oh, looking like the dream could be over. Looking like the dream could be over. Right then, the second half well underway. No chances for either team so far in this second half. We're going to come forward here. Palmer. Valerie picked up an injury, so Palmer's having to play. Watson in the box now. Come on, find the blue shirt. Finds Ingleson. Ingleson finds Jack Vadstay. Back to Ingleson. Shoots. Come on. There we go. Back in this game. Back with a lifeline. Can we turn it round? Statistically, we've been the better team, but we've not had any luck. Tom Watson here does so well. Plays it into Ingleson. Him and Jack Vadstay, they even confuse me. And then Ingleson just hit it. He does that. Pandor can't stop it. And we find ourselves level. And this is a huge moment in our season. Will we be able to show the character to now push on and get a winner? I certainly hope so. It's down to the lads on the pitch. Coming to the end of the game here. A draw probably isn't good enough. It probably needed more. We're not down and out officially. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Nathan Redmond finds Jamal Lowe. 1 minute of football to play. Loses the ball. That was pathetic, Jamal Lowe. That was actually pathetic. They're going to come forward here. And if this is a goal for Hull City, our season's over. It's gone wide. Gelhardt, decent effort. But it looks as though this is going to be it. It is full time. The better team on paper, but it doesn't matter. The scoreline is the only one that matters. And we find ourselves in the table now, if it will load, which it will, we find ourselves 14th position, 47 points to 61 for the playoffs. So it looks pretty impossible now, doesn't it? Still 14 points. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate, but we gave it a half decent go here against Hull. It was one of those days, lads. It was one of those days. So what we will do is I will play these games off camera. We'll come back for the Middlesbrough game. We'll play the Middlesbrough game and we'll assess the situation. We'll see where we are and we'll have a recap on the challenge to see how we've done. And yeah, so I will see you for this game against Middlesbrough. All right then, lads. Welcome back. As you can see, we are not at the Middlesbrough game, nor are we at the Oxford game or the West Brom game. I've decided to go all the way through to the end of the season. I think you can tell by the form, this second half of the season just hasn't gone our way. To be quite honest with you, it sort of starts here in January, mid-January. So if you look at this first half of the season, look at all these wins, look at that period there. What a time it was. You know, the odd loss here and there. The start of the season was pretty tough, don't get me wrong. But ultimately, the form crept back in. We were on such a roll. We were 10 points off the playoffs at our best. But look at this. Look at this second half of the season. I mean, what we're talking, maybe 4 or 5 wins at max. So then in terms of our quest, of course, the main quest was to avoid relegation. We did that. We've passed that. And halfway through the season, we changed it and said, let's go for the playoffs. As I say, 10 points was all it was. It eventually finished, 22 points? So we really did fall off in that latter part of the season. And as you can see there, it's just so inconsistent. A few wins, a few draws, a couple of losses. That it never quite worked out for us. And that's absolutely fine. So we gave it a go. But this is the whole point of the one season challenge. You know, there's stuff that you watch on YouTube for Football Manager content creators. And you sort of know it's always, we'll get to the Champions League. This is why I love the one season challenge. Because it's how far can you go? Can you pass the challenge? And we weren't able to fully get the playoffs. I mean, we breezed it in terms of survival. I mean, if we add the 18 points on, so we were on 55, 65, right, after a bit of quick maths, we wouldn't have still got the playoffs, but it would have been very, very close. We would have actually came 7th in the table, which is really good going. So it's been a good, fun challenge. We gave it our best. I'm proud of the squad. I'm proud of these boys here because they absolutely went for it. And hey, look, we all knew this was going to be the case. The player with the most appearances, Mr. If I can get it, Barry Bannon, our skipper, our captain, 36 years of age,
5 assists to his name. Really, really good season there from Barry Bannon. In terms of our top goal scorer, it was Cameron Archer, a revelation. He swapped the red side of Sheffield for the blue side. He'd seen the light. We brought him in and he did really, really well. 18 goals, 5 assists. Such a solid one from him there. And then this man here, a player that I didn't really have any thoughts about at the start of the season. Svante Ingelsson of Sweden. He was here when we got here and he has been superb. Really, really good. 23 goal contributions for him there. And I just think, same as Cameron Archer, both of them with the same goal contributions. Really, really good performances. We've then got Tommy Watson coming up in 3rd place there. Very solid season from him. Same for Jamal Lowe. Doesn't get the most amount of actual sort of starts in the team, but 18 goal contributions is fantastic. Chad Vadstey came in, did well for us there. Is there anyone else with the assist that we need to mention? Yes, Max Lowe. Of course, injured for parts of the season. He was there for the main bits, but really, really good performances from Max Lowe there. So we've had a good season. We really, really have. And as I say, I'm very proud of these lads for putting in these performances week on week on week and giving us the hope that maybe we could have done it and got the playoffs. So we may have fallen short here, but this is the whole point. It's authentic, the one season challenge. How far can we get? So please let me know in the comments, what challenge would you like me to do next? It can be anything. I want the hardest challenges you've got. Remember, just one season. I've got loads of ideas, but I want to hear from you guys. So let me know in the comments what you think we should do. I'm very, very intrigued to see what challenges you guys throw at me. And so, yeah, put that down in the comments. But this is the end of the Sheffield Wednesday one season challenge. We started on minus 18 points and we managed to drag ourselves all the way to, let me check because I've completely forgot what it was. Was it 16th? Was it 16th? All the way to 16th position, which is absolutely crazy. If we hadn't have had the minus 18 points, we'd have came 7th in the league. Absolutely fantastic from us. So if you want me to do this again, by the way, and try and get Sheffield Wednesday to promotion, let me know in the comments. You know, we'll do a couple of other ones first, but I'm more than happy to revisit this. There's something in my mouth. It tastes not very nice. I feel as though we could have actually done it. And there was a point where I genuinely thought, this is going to be the craziest video of all time, maybe in Football Manager, because I really, really thought we'd do it. So let me know down in the comments what you want me to do next. If you want me to revisit this, hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the content. As I say, I've got so much more of this sort of content coming. Authentic Football Manager gameplay, exactly how I like to film it. Let me know if there's any tweaks or changes you'd like to these style of videos. And as always, guys, I will catch you on the next one.